Yeah, so what's news, Gilda?
Okay, so today I promised I would talk about the new law, the changes about the new law.
Yes, but you're not going
Some
to.
of them. No, of course, I'm going to.
I'm only joking. I'm just playing with everybody there because they've come for that.
So maybe the biggest change for the expat is going to be the digital nomad visa,
Uh-huh.
because until now they were allowing people with remote working contracts to apply for the D7. But now that is not going to happen anymore
Okay.
because D7 will only allow passive income. And if you have a contract with an entity outside Portugal, and you can prove that you are going to keep that contract, you can apply for a digital nomad visa. And there are two types of digital nomad visa. One, it's a resident permit visa, and the other, it's a temporary visa. Temporary visa, it's 90 days, and you can extend it for another 90 days. And this is not in the law, but I guess that the advantage for this is for people that don't want to become tax residents in Portugal.
Mhm.
Because if they stay more than 6 months, they become tax resident in Portugal.
Very interesting. Okay.
Yes, but they cannot make the family reunion
Yes.
because this visa doesn't allow.
Yes.
Although, if they live in a country where people can come without a visa, or if they can come with a Schengen visa, tourist visa, they can come for 3 months and apply for an extension to stay with the relatives. So 6 months, and that's it, finished. And the digital nomad visa for residences, it's you apply with the same, with a contract that will show that you have work contracts or rendering services contract or independent contract in outside Portugal, and then you apply for a resident visa, and then it's going to be 2 years resident card, and then you can it's going to be the same rights as other resident visa, and you can have the family reunion.
That's great, isn't it? That's really good.
I have a
It sounds like
question.
they've really thought about it. Go on, James.
Being a self-employed person who works with people outside of Portugal, how does that fit into this scheme?
Good
So
question.
that they have to prove if they have contracts with other companies, or if they have like invoices that they render to these people, or if the type of profession, for instance, a therapist, the profession itself is independent profession, and then the receipts that they of the service that they render.
But James, are you asking that from the
Okay.
point of view of qualifying for the visa, or what you do about your taxation affairs?
No, I'm asking in regard to the new visa. I'm asking, I mean, I've already qualified for my residency on the D7, so I'm not concerned about that, but I'm asking for other self-employed people who may not invoice their clients. That's true for me. All of my income, how I showed my income with my D7 was bank statements that showed I was making deposits. That was basically because I didn't have any contracts, I didn't have any statements from anybody. I didn't even have invoice receipts. So would that work for someone on the digital nomad visa, or should that self-employed person start issuing invoices so that they have documentation.
No, you need to prove that you are running an activity of that you are self-employed.
Yeah, the way that's recognized in Portugal, of course, is that you would register that at Finanza. So I guess they're looking
Yes.
at the same situation abroad. So yeah, I think incorporation, or certainly some sort of obvious way of showing that you are a registered business and have regular receipts. The question I want to ask Gilda about this is there are they looking for an amount as well, a certain threshold of income with this visa? This is a very exciting development. I've got to say, this is going to make life a lot easier for a lot of people, isn't it? But is there a minimum amount with the income?
We don't know yet, because this is only the law, and now we have to see in practice what is going to happen.
Yes.
It's like the D7. There in the law there isn't a minimum.
Right. Okay.
So it's like when it becomes in practice, the consulates start to see if there is a lot of demand. They will start to put like a minimum amount.
Oh, so the amounts are conventions rather than laws, and they can change.
Yeah,
Whereas,
or they can issue like another decree law apart from this, just with the amounts.
very good. Okay, and so this Portuguese saying of the day, then, a experiencia mãe da ciência, it's going to be all in the experience of this, is how the knowledge of it will work when it's actually put into practice and people start applying.
Yes, that's it.
My goodness. Wow. Well, are you excited about this?
Well, I think there are some optimistic things here, but I don't see how some things are going to be putting in practice, because with the lack of manpower, I see too much thing, becoming different, and I don't see how these people at CEF and at the consulates are going to get adapt to this. And also there are many things that they kept CEF away from this.
Yeah.
And CEF, it's not going to be in the decision of most of the things.
That's not joined up.
And then I don't know what it's going to happen, but I think at some point they will kind of regret, because for instance, they made a visa for people to come and look for work, and they said CEF doesn't need to look at this, so people just go there and say, I want to look for a job in Portugal. This is for the Portuguese speaking countries. And then they just put a stamp on it, and you come to Portugal, you have a day to go to CEF, and you have 4 months to look for a job. Okay, and then if you don't have a job, you go away. My concern, and based on my experience, is that there is going to be a lot of traffic of labor contracts.
I think we're seeing it already, aren't we? That's happening already, as far as I can tell.
Yes, it's already happening, but it's going to be more, because these people are going to have a visa, and they are going to have 4 months to turn it into a resident permit.
Yes.
Okay. And they are going to rush to have a work contract. Okay.
So
they may find a work contract, or they may find someone that it's going to take advantage on it.
Or they might just go missing, right? Because we know, don't we, that in the economic and political situation we have, if you've got a chance to get to a country easily to better your prospects, you might do that. And you might not have much incentive to go home either. That does sound like kicking a problem down the street a little bit to me, I have to say. I don't know what you think about that, James.
Yeah, well, documentation, if I've learned anything about Portugal, documentation is really important. So my guess is that whatever happens, there's going to be, a pile of papers that says that what you're doing is legitimate and, appropriate and authorized and all that kind of stuff. But I agree. You open a door for people to come in without any way of assuring both the safety of them personally and of the country for people who would do that fraudulently, potentially taking away jobs. It's a massively complex issue that I don't think is be addressed in 1 month of talking about it.
And the other problem, of course, Gilda, is what you said there. I mean, I'm thinking there's a lot of upsides to this. There are, from the point of view of foreigners and immigrants and expats, potential expats coming to Portugal, the Nomad Visa, fantastic. But if CEF are not incorporated or happy, and this is just going to be more a new work for people in those offices, that's not going to be good. That's not a great environment, is it, in which these things are going to be processed? And a smile on your face tells me that I think you might agree with me.
Yeah, I agree. And when the law came out and Filippo went to CEF and asked about a few things, the answer was, we don't know anything about it and we don't want to know.
No.
It's not like they don't have enough to do already, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like we've got a department to relaunch and reform and work together with these in the new way that people want us to. We're already a little bit downhearted, downtrodden, you might say, and disorganized, and now this. So I'm crossing everything. I'm wishing Bossot and not just good luck, but some political intervention to make this work properly. I mean, and I'm
no,
sure
but in the law they are trying to do some things that they are trying to take some work from CEF. For instance, now when you are going to apply for a residence visa, you have the chance and you have the rights to apply for family reunion visa in the consulate for your family.
Yeah. Okay.
And this is because CEF is not having the possibility of, as we know, to make the appointments. They are always closed for the appointments. And like this, it's going to be easier for everyone. When people get their visa, the family is going to get the visa. They will all have appointment dates. This is going to be a helpful situation for everybody, for people who get the visa and for CEF also.
So interesting, because with all these digital nomads coming, a lot of them working in tech, you could say they are God's gift to this situation, because really things that could be done online should be done online, right? It doesn't make sense to have an appointment to go and do something that could be done online, and an appointment which doesn't happen or gets changed and just slows down the process and gives overworked people even more work to do. So I hope the solution is coming in the form of the immigrants and digital nomads who could deal with this situation, given the political will and willingness to do something about it. Fantastic news in many ways, and an interesting situation to watch. I did promise a photo, thanks John for this is of course not CEF but VFS in San Francisco. Where's it gone? I definitely downloaded it somewhere, but this is a building that some people will be seeing in due course, but I've lost it. Okay. No, it's okay. The VFS hasn't been lost. Here it is. That would be bad news, wouldn't it? Like a disappearing building, like a Harry Potter building. But there you go. There is the VFS. That's a lovely building, isn't it? Very San Francisco. Beautiful. Very nice indeed. Okay, thank you for that, John. And there you go, Trevor. That is, yes, the VFS in San Fran there. Okay, a few more bits of feedback and a few greetings this morning, James, and then we'll send you on your way. We got a thanks, James, for you there. Connie saying a good morning to you. Questions are coming in. Thanks for those. Gilda, says Simon this morning. Hello, Carl, Gilda, and James there from the OLP. OLP loves to Gilda there from Canada, from Darren, who I think is going to be in touch. Morning, dear Gilda, from Michelle in Australia. What a lovely international crowd we have here this morning. And congratulations, Trevor. Yes, indeed. Parabéns, Gilda. I think that's for the family birthday. Philosophers, thanks for the coffee, says Socrates. Do you have any sugar? This tastes a bit bitter. It's probably just the way he's seeing life, isn't it? Bon dia, Gilda. So good to see you, says Jim. And strength in numbers. Oh, is that your party, maybe? I don't know. My laptop battery. It may have gone already. Michelle, thank you for being here. We've got lovely questions. Thank you for those. We'll come to those in just a moment. Before we say goodbye to James. Yes, James. Always enjoy your wise thoughts. Thank you, James, for being here. Really appreciate it.
Carlos.
We will see you next Monday, if not before, my friend. Ciao, ciao.
I look forward to it.
Okay, bye-bye, James.
Bye.
Okay, there we go. Probably, like slimily sloping away there, as all good slugs should do. A slug hug to you, my friend. Okay, let's get into the questions. One was deposited early, Gilda. We've got dad jokes. Remind me to do the dad jokes, everybody, as well, before we're out today. But we had an early question in somebody who couldn't stay, but wanted to leave this question for you, Gilda. I have a social security, retirement, and rental income from 2 properties, plus 10K in the bank. Very nice, Della. Would I be better off selling 1 rental and having 200K in the bank? Great question. Nice problem to have as well.
Yes. Yes, I think you should be selling one of the rentals.
Okay, to show stronger savings and still have a passive income opportunity. Very good. There you go. Simply done. Quicker than I imagined. I'll quickly find the next question. I think this is general. Bon dia from Lisbon, from Nazir Ahmed. Good morning, Nazir. Any advice for children moving to Portugal with English medium schools? How difficult is it for them to adjust in Portuguese schools? Thanks for any advice. Have you got a view on that, Gilda?
Yes, from my experience, the adaptation is it's not difficult. I see many foreigners in my kids' schools that are English speakers or French speakers, and everything goes well. Of course, it's a little bit more difficult, but they have a little bit also more attention. And sometimes teacher, if they are not fluent with the language, they use Google Translator. But the kids are better than speaking the language, and sometimes they come home speaking Portuguese and they teach the parents.
Yes, I've seen that often the way. Thank you for that. Talking of the language. James says, or Joao F says to James, you asked, como foi o vosso de fim de semana, and I ask you, como foi o teu fim de semana? So your, I think, in plural and singular there. Thank you, Joao F, for that language tip. Really appreciate it. Moaz saying to you, Joao F, I watched the replay of the webinar from last Thursday, and I was impressed with your English. What webinar, people are asking? Well, we had the most fantastic evening last Thursday. Excuse me for a moment, Gilda, but Chat with the Members was a Portuguese panel special. It's on our YouTube channel now. Watch it, because they talk about their favorite places, their favorite foods, their top 3 tips for moving to Portugal, and is immigration a good thing for Portugal? Generally speaking, it is a great webinar. Thank you again, Anna Philomena, who's here this morning as well, and Joao for taking part in that. So really appreciate you guys. And you can watch it if you want to on the YouTube channel. Now I can talk to Gilda so that Tech Cowgirl can get that going. I think that's the process they're talking about. And what's this? I have rules about seating in public places. That's random, isn't it, Gilda? I'm not sure what that meant. Joao F says, I stuttered a lot, though. The sound of my voice, what a disappointment, disastrous. You sound like an English professor, Joao F, as I keep telling you, your English is incredible. This is true for all of us, isn't it? It just sounded so different from what I hear in my head. The voice is in the head. Yeah, isn't that funny? That's brilliant. And Darren translated what James said this morning is all about the base. Yes, the primal instincts. Very, very good. Okay, let's find some more of these questions then. Bon dia from Rob C. Oh, there's an A from our wonderful friend. Where is this? Yeah, from Chris B. Hey, bon dia. We love it when you do that. And this question then from Rob C. Gilda. Recently opened a Millennium bank account in London office by appointment with the excellent Juliana. Really easy process. Able to send sterling to Euro account via SWIFT. Takes 2 business days. Well, that's just some nice feedback, isn't it? So it can be done. If you're UK based, you can open a Millennium bank account in London town. You don't have to fly over to Portugal. But then you miss out on a trip to Lisbon. But anyway, that might suit you better to do that. How is Lisbon at the moment, by the way, Gilda? September has come. San Martino de Porto has changed overnight. Is it the same in Lisbon?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Tourism, the main tourism season. The thing you talked about, actually, I wanted to ask you about this and have people understand this as a Portuguese cultural phenomenon. People who are from Portugal often come home to Portugal in August, don't they? As you said, from Angola, from France, from all over the world, from Canada, from the United States. August is the month for doing that, right? It's a cultural thing. Come home, see the family, might tie in with the village or town or city festa as well, and they come together. What a lovely moment that is. But that is a thing. That's a real thing, isn't it?
It is.
It is. There you go.
And then when they go away, it's hard for us.
Yeah, and you might be driving along And the Portuguese person who is here for August, or maybe all of August, might stop the car to take the picture of the town sign, right? Or the Portuguese sign if they're driving to and from France. Watch out for that as well. So there's a lot of selfies, and people come back in all their finery, don't they? They might hire a nice posh car and come back and say, we're doing great, and wherever we are.
No, that was more in the 90s.
Was
Now
it? Not
it's,
so much.
yeah.
Get a bit more relaxed about that. Oh, no, we can't allow this. You can't say, after what James said, my DNA made me do it. That's not a defense in a court of law. It's understandable, but notice, choose, and act, everybody. About belonging to a community. As a mathematician, I tell you, if you take care of all the others in your community, and if everyone else does the same, you'll end up having everybody taking care of everybody. Well said, Joaf. On the other hand, if each person just worries about oneself, there will be only one person in the world thinking of you. This is simple arithmetic. That is sociological arithmetic, a new brand, I think. Parabéns, Gilda, then, from Philomena. Good morning, Philomena. Great to have you here. Okay, Trevor, then. Great question from you, Trevor. Article 85. I love it how Trevor, he actually cites the law, doesn't he?
I was going to talk about it. It's here on my notes.
There you go, then. Shall I read this, then? A, being the holder of a temporary residence permit 6 consecutive months or 8 interpolated months in the total period of validity. So we need to not leave Portugal for more than 6 months consecutive or 8 months interpolated for the next 2 years on our temporary residence validity. Obrigado. What do you have to say about that, then, Gilda?
Yes, he's right. On the previous law, there was a doubt because when they changed the validity of the resident permit, they didn't change the article. So there was this doubt, and SEF could not clarify that because they had it per year, which was the resident card's validity. It was for 1 year, and then they changed because of the pandemic situation, they changed it for 2 years. But now the law is very clear. Okay, they say in the total period of the validity of the card. So this means that these 6 months consecutive or 8 months interpolated are for the validity of the period of the resident permit. So if it is 2 years, it is 2 years. Also, if we are talking about the permanent resident permit, you should have in mind that it is 24 months, 24 consecutive months, or 30 interpolated months.
Okay. Is that everything you want to say? That should do it for Trevor, shouldn't it? I would have thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, Trevor. Thank you for bringing that up. That's going to be a help to other people. I've got to say as well, Gilda, we have just been given by Chris Tully 100 Arab Emirate dollars. So I'm really not sure what that is, but thank you so much, Chris Tully. I think one thing we could do with it, Gilda, what do you think about this idea? We could do this, I think, with those, couldn't we? I don't know if it's enough to get us to
Thank
Madeira.
you, Chris.
Thank you so much, Chris. I'm not sure if it's enough to get us to Madeira, but certainly I think a few of those could be in order, couldn't it, in Lisbon one evening? Thank you, Chris, so much. Have you got a question? I'm combing the chat to see if you have, and I, of course, will ask it for you, but I can't see anything at the moment, and just really appreciate you. Thank you. SCF, slowly exhausting foreigners. That is not what it stands for. That is not what it stands for. How rude.
I love that.
How rude. How rude is that? Okay. All right. There's another meme. There's another morning show meme to be made. Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Trevor, then, for that question. For Gilda, then, from Della. We've done that, haven't we? We were going to liquidate, weren't we?
We did.
Yeah, we've done that one.
Oh,
It was the liquidating of the asset, and so you can show a good savings level along with the passive income as well. I'm trying to find where we got to. Oh, Trevor, there we go. We got to Trevor. Yes, VFS San Francisco. Julius, good morning to you. What if you earn money from an online business? What visa is this? Now, how does that fit into the digital nomad thing?
I would say it's a digital nomad.
Okay, and again,
because it's active income.
and show that you've got an official business and show the amount of money coming in. That's the key, isn't it? For all these new digital nomads and that new kind of visa that's just come into the law. Okay, it's been a bit of a surprise for some people, as we'll find out in just a moment. Take Cowgirl, that's one we need. The resident digital nomad visa. We have permanent jobs and we need family reunification for my adult disabled son. So there you go. It's falling into place for people. This is great news. Are there any other conditions? I'm a remote worker. Do you need savings as well, do you think?
The law doesn't mention that, but yeah, it doesn't mention. But I know from my experience, yes, you are going to need some savings to show that you are going to be able to establish yourself in Portugal, because they ask that for all the residency visas.
Okay, so I mean that's the bottom line here, isn't it? You need to show that you're capable of looking after yourself. That's what the government wants to know, isn't it? That you can take care of yourself, and you're not going to become a burden on the state. So yes, we'll find out, won't we? When you do the first of these, we'll get the feedback, won't we?
But one thing, in my opinion, it's not going to be as much as the D7 because this person is working.
Yes, of course. So there you go, Darren. That's an answer to your question, I think. Second, digital resident visa would be perfect for a lot of us, including Mr. and Mrs. Adventure. What are the dollar requirements to come in? Less or more than D7. It remains to be seen, and you'll be the first to know when I say we, but when Gilda and team start processing those first visas.
Yeah.
We'll get the feedback from the front line. Our big news: OLP Lewis just retired on August the 31st. Wood. Yes, well done. Congratulations. How did you celebrate? What financial requirements are there? Okay, I think we've done that as well. People getting very excited about this. Hey, Take Cowgirl, I just asked that. Come on, communicate, you two. You've got all these social media platforms you can talk to each other on. WhatsApp him or WhatsApp her. With a digital nomad visa, do they lead to full residency or do you have to leave after the 2 years? Good question, Stephen.
Okay, so as I told you, there are two types. The temporary or the residency. With the residency, it's like all the residency. After 2 years, you need to prove if you are still having the same means, if you're still keeping the job remotely, and if you still have the same means, you can renovate it and stay.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much for that. Big congrats, OLP. That is fun news. That is great. So we're all celebrating here. Let Lewis know that, if you will, OLP. Joao, study English in the UK? No, I learned English in high school. And I think you're a keen student of English culture as well. I think that's a lot to do with it, Joao. I've been to the UK several times, but no longer than 1.5 months, all trips together. Never lived in the UK, though. You sound like a British professor. I shall keep saying it. This might be difficult for therapists because many of their clients won't sign a contract for confidentiality reasons. Well, you could show it as payments, I would have thought, in a bank account.
Yeah.
Explain that, right? Okay. Della, we've done yours. And Isa AI or Isa Al. Hi, if I own a company and get profits as dividends without a contract, as I am a shareholder, would this be qualified as passive income for the D7? Or does it fall under the new digital nomad visa? What about this one? We do get asked this, don't we? Dividends as income. How to manage that?
Dividends, by the law, it's qualified on the D7 as passive income.
Okay. Passive income, dividends. Yes, all the invoices are made under the company name, not my personal name. I think you can show that it's your income ultimately. But yes, what Gilda said there. Okay, Darren says to you, OLP, tell your husband he's moving with you October the 1st to Portugal. Start leaving those pastel de natas and Portuguese bottles of wine around the house to give him the hint. You were great on the web. Oh, morning to you, Sarah. Joao F., you were great on the webinar without qualification. There you go. Another nice compliment for you. Your English sounded to me British influenced. I think that's true. Gilda from Darren, would you suggest, he asked, that anyone applying for the digital nomad visa through EI? Of course. Yes. What do you think? What do you think? Go with the experts. I just watched you on video. Nosso, como seu inglês é impressionante. Parece ser britânico. What's that? You sound like a Brit. That's great news for me then. Yes, it often happens. Law comes in without providing infrastructure to support it. Yeah, the law is the skeleton, isn't it? And it will be fleshed out in due course.
Yeah.
For you, the truth of it all. And Darren can see that being an advantage. I'm not quite sure what, but who doesn't like an advantage first thing in the morning? Good night. We'll replay the rest. Excellent, Suze. Thank you for being here. And no, you can't say my DNA had me do it. But I'm Joe LP from Victoria, who's also here this morning, as is Sushu 1404. Hi, Gilda and Carl. Thank you so much for all the work that you guys have been doing. Oh, it's a pleasure. Please wish me and my wife all the very best for upcoming VFS appointments in New Delhi on the 12th.
Oh, wow. All the luck in the world.
Things crossed here, lots of things crossed here, and a little bit of a Jenny B flourish for you for extra good luck. So take this in, Sushu. Bit of Jenny B magic for you there. Agrees with Carl. Digital nomads like to do things online first and foremost. The scary ball of sky gas hurts our eyes. Yes, go into the sunshine. Like vampires. Amelie is here as well. Now in Portugal, Gilda. From Korea, now in Portugal. Fantastic news. And yeah, we did like that. Thank you, T-Duck, for that. Thank you. We'll come back to the dad jokes before the show is out. Hi, Gilda and Carl from Paul Harrison, who often comes on a Monday when you're here, Gilda. Have you noticed? Now that Millennium are back on board supporting expats with bank accounts, how would you rate their other insurance services, such as house insurance, etc.? It's a good question, Gilda. What would you say about that? I wonder what Nunu would say about that.
Well, I would say I'm not an insurance expert.
Yes.
But
so would I. Where's Nunu when you need him? Now, here's the thing. They are experts in banking, aren't they? Not insurance. There's probably everything you need to know.
Yes, but well, I have to say that what usually in Portugal, what everyone does, because we are so tired of the paperwork, is when we sign the papers in the bank, they will put the insurance there and we just sign it also.
Just one more way for thin signature.
Yeah.
Yes. It's true.
What I did. It's what I did.
Me too. When I was first here, INAP, total disclosure, my health insurance is through Winsurance with Nunu. Now, when I first started, it wasn't. I was just given. I was basically falling on the ground and hugging the ankles of anyone who could speak English in a bank. So when they said to me, "Would you like health insurance with us?" I fell to the floor and hugged their ankles and said, "Thank you so much for speaking to me in English. I really appreciate it. Will I be able to speak English to somebody on the telephone if anything goes wrong with my family's health?" They said, "Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll sign anything. Give it to me now." And that is, you're right, Gilda. That is what happens, isn't it? In a state of desperation, or when they appeal to your sense of convenience, just one signature and it'll all be done. I think we quite like the sound of that. So I would shop around, Paul, have a chat with Nunu. Him and his team are very available and personable. Compare, get the quote from Millennium, run it up against something that Nunu's got to offer you. And he is an insurance expert, and he will show you the devil in the detail, my friend. Okay, great question, Paul. Cheers for that. That's where I'll be in 3 weeks. Where are you going to be in 3 weeks? Did I show a picture?
In Portugal.
Oh, okay, in Portugal.
Or in the VFS.
I think in the VFS, I think you're absolutely right. You're going to be here, not here, not yet. Anyway, look at that. This is sushi in Nazare, Gilda. Doesn't that look great? Yeah, I'm going to take it off. He's making me feel very hungry. This was another place you could be. I took this picture in Aveiro, I think 4 years ago. That lovely bridge from the motorway side of town going into the quays. Aveiro, look at it. It's beautiful. But yes, this is where you're going to go by the sound of it. All the best with that beautiful building. Look at those columns at the bottom there. Fantastic. Okay, back to the questions then. And we have Philip, Gilda, I'm Belgian. Congratulations. And moving from Turkey to Portugal, does my rental contract need to be registered to get residence? From Philip Utekier.
Okay, so it will depend on the city hall. For instance, if it is Lisbon, they never ask to see if it is registered. But if it is Porto, they will ask to see if it is registered. So I don't know what city hall we are talking about, but by the law, and the correct thing to do, okay, it's to register the rental agreement. Otherwise, your landlord is not paying taxes, and that's not a good thing.
There you go. So that's what I was going to ask you. You registered with whom and for what purpose? We're talking about the lease being registered with Finanzas, aren't we?
Yeah.
Which ensures that tax is being paid on that deal. So if you wanted to err on the side of caution, it is good to get a registered lease agreement. So there you go, Philip. I'm sure that helps.
And also because if you have any problem further on the way, and if you want to go to justice and the contract is not registered,
Yeah.
they will say that it was also your fault because you were
You're on
being
your own. Yeah. You're on your own with that, aren't you? So well worth it, I think, to err on the side of
you knew about the situation, and you were also, how do you say, complice?
a complicit. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had a part to play in that. So and you
Yeah.
don't want to be in that position, do you? As
No.
a foreigner, as an immigrant in the country, it's not a good look. Okay. Truth of it all. Thank you, Gilda and Expats. Your information is so helpful. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Thank you for all your wisdom and insight, James, from Simon there. And Nora is here with a question for you, Gilda. How will the new digital nomad visa law affect the current digital nomads living on a D7 in Portugal? Would their renewal requirements change if they have a contract with a company abroad? If you're on a D7, you're on a D7, right? It's not going to change anything.
No, it's not. It's not going to change.
Okay.
Well, I believe it's not going to change because you will have a resident permit, okay, that was issued based on one premise when this law didn't exist. So now, when the renewal will come, you just need to show that you still have a source of income, okay. That was this source of income was based on what was issued the visa, okay. So there is not going to be a problem.
There's not going to be a problem. Thank you very much for that, Gilda, and thank you for that question, Noor. It is exciting, the prospect, the proposition. It's bringing all sorts of things up for us this morning, and thank you for your explanation of it and the announcement, Gilda, this morning. Victoria's in Portimao. Ciao, ciao from Portimao is what she'll be saying later, but not until 15 minutes are up. We've got more questions to address here, and we've got dad jokes to fit in. Emily in rural Northern California, enjoying the discussions and signing off at 1:25 my time. Well, good night to you. Bonne noite. Moaz, this is hilarious, Gilda. I just joined a Facebook group called Expats in Dubai Interested in Portugal, the EDIIP group, and some of them say that the Portuguese embassy don't answer phone calls or emails. It seems like everyone hates them. Well, that's one way of putting it, I guess. People are frustrated. I will go with frustrated. SP, what's the minimum amount you would recommend we show as a couple when applying for our D7 in our bank account in Portugal? Thanks.
50,000 euro.
Yeah, for the pair.
Yeah.
Okay. But while we're about it, people are asking questions. Our YouTube channel has 13,000 subscribers on it now, or thereabouts. We're getting that way. And people ask questions. They'll see one of our shows or our webinars, and they'll ask a question on there. And some people are getting a bit shirty about not having their questions answered on the YouTube channel. We do try and get around to answering all those questions. But if you can imagine from our point of view, the best place to come is here on a Monday morning, isn't it? Attend the webinars live. It's not difficult to do. They're free. And please don't get shirty when we don't ask a question from a video that was published 2 years ago, and you're asking a very specific niche question. Get in touch with our EI and have done, for heaven's sakes, or come and join us live on the show. And stop being so entitled and angry when we don't get to every single question from thousands of people all around the world. Finished. Okay. Right, Gilda, one of two. I got my D7 based on my finances. I did not present my contract vendor for US-based language assessment company. Now with the D7 visa, should I tell Seth, Finanzas, pros, cons? What should Emily do here?
Okay, so you did not present your contract. Are you going to receive this money? You have to think, you are going to receive this money outside or inside Portugal. Are you going to present receipts in Portugal or from other place in the world? Are you going to pay taxes inside or outside Portugal? Because you are going to become a tax resident in Portugal. So I think that all this together, you should talk with an accountant and see what the best scenario it's going to be for you.
Okay, there you go. An answer for you, Emily. How's it going, by the way, Emily? And Chris Tully, did you want us to address anything for you? Yes, I see a message from you now, Chris. So many comments in the chat. Sorry, I didn't get around to it. Oh, no questions. This is just because you guys are amazing. Isn't that lovely?
Oh, yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you so much for that. I really appreciate that. Okay, well, the questions continue in our remaining 10 minutes here. Forgot to say, and observations. Thanks, Chris. I forgot to say Ribeiro from EI is helping me out. Big thanks. I'm not familiar with Ribeiro. Who's Ribeiro?
Beatriz.
Oh,
Beatriz
Beatriz.
Ribeiro.
Hola, bom dia, Beatriz. This is Georgios this morning. Since Digital Nomad Visa now replaces D7 Visa for remote workers, not necessarily. It's a companion product rather than a replacement. After renewal of the permit, what would that still lead to? Residency citizenship, permanent residency citizenship. Can someone also get a job in Portugal as a resident on this visa? Oh, that's a great question, Georgios. Could you transfer from a remote income to actually having a job in Portugal during that time, Gilda?
Well, the first part of the question, yes, you can still have the citizenship. Okay. For the second part of the question, I don't know yet, because that is going to depend if they will allow after 2 years to change the condition of the digital nomad into someone resident in the country that finds a job.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That happens, for instance, that happens today with someone that comes with independent worker visa, with a independent contract with a Portuguese company, and needs to go to CEF with an independent contract with a Portuguese company. And then after 2 years, this person can have an employment contract and still renew and have a resident permit. So they can do that with the digital nomad. And after 2 years, things can change and they can accept that, which for me, it makes sense.
Of course it does.
But I don't know yet. It's going to
Right.
take 2 years to understand what it's going to be acceptable.
Work in progress.
Because the law doesn't mention that.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it would be ridiculous, wouldn't it, if somebody can either have a job in Portugal or not have a job? It makes sense that they have a job in Portugal, doesn't it? Truth of it all, then. Thank you, Georgios, for that. Should I come on a tourist visa for 90 days, return to the UK for a short time to apply for a digital nomad visa, just to allow time for things to get going, or can I apply now? Not sure. I mean, can you answer that, Georgios? You need to know more about the circumstances, don't you, with that?
Well, it's however you wish, but
Yeah.
the law, it's only going to come in force in the end of September.
Okay, so you have to come. You can't apply for it yet anyway. And if coming for 90 days on a tourist visa suits you, why not do that and then apply later and see what's happening with that particular visa as a possibility? Your choice, truth of it all. I've been here. Oh, this is a lovely question for Amelie, and lots of people will be in this situation, Gilda. I've been here 5 days. Now what? Okay, eat pastel de natas at 11 o'clock every morning, drink a cup of coffee, and have a Portuguese bottle of wine in the evening. Those are the basics. But what steps do I need to take legally? Do something with my NIF? Yes. What else do I need to take care of? I'm feeling a bit lost. Oh, what can we say? What can you say to Amelie there, Gilda? When you're new in the country, what should you be taking care of?
Well, I think that she already has a bank account open.
Yeah.
So she just needs to relax.
Yes, what a lovely answer.
Emily, you just need to relax and enjoy, okay?
Yes.
Because you already have the NIF, you already have the bank accounts, and now you are waiting for your resident permit.
Enjoy Portugal.
You need to go the appointment for the resident permit.
Yes.
And everything that you need to do, it's going to be after that, okay? So like 1 month and a half previous to your resident permit date, you need to start putting your documents together for the big day. And then you go there and you wait for your resident permit. With the resident permit, you can go to the healthcare center to register yourself. You can take care of your driving license if that is the case with the new law. And I guess that's it. So right now you just need to enjoy.
That's such a lovely answer. So there you go, Emily. And I do get it. I mean, you know, a lot of your world is now new, isn't it? And it's kind of overwhelming with everything you've had to do to be here. But yeah, if you possibly can, relax, get into it. And the next milestone, like Gilda said, there's 6 weeks before your appointment, get the ducks in a row. But in the meantime, come here to enjoy what you set out to enjoy, right? That's fantastic. Thank you. A comment about international schools, very expensive, many costing up to 10 to 12 grand a year. Portuguese official schools are mostly free. They'll teach English really well. Thank you for that, Maxine.
Yeah.
Wait, what? What? The Digital Nomad visa replaces the D7 remote work visa? I want to retire on a D7 and still do remote work. Can I not do this? That's put a spanner in the works for Della.
Yes, you can. Okay. Della. Okay, it's two different things. You said that you have your social security and that you were going to rent, to sell a property to have income. So you will apply for the D7 with these conditions. After that, you can still do your remote work.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, Della. Don't panic. Don't panic. I do like a question that starts with "wait, what?" though. Thank you, Gilda and Carl. It's a pleasure, Nazir. James, you're so generous. He is. He gives his time to us every Monday morning. It doesn't replace the D7. It's an alternative, isn't it? D7
Yes.
still exists, but now just for passive income. People are getting to grips with this, aren't they? Simon, been waiting nearly 3 months for our NIF number to come through online. Is that normal?
No, that's not normal.
That is so not normal. Simon, you need to be asking some questions and shaking some trees, I think, there. Kelele Malongo, hello, mate. Good morning, Gilda. Sent you an email 2 weeks back. Please do check and get back to me. It's about my D7 visa. So I don't know if you want to write that down for Senor Malongo there. Kelele, send it again. And if you
send it again because it might got lost.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. That is very generous. Look at that, Chris. We can have quite a few shots, I think, for 27, nearly 28 euros when we meet up, Gilda. Chris, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
We really need to meet up, Carl, because you still
we've got all this money.
Yeah.
How much have we got now? Maybe like $50 or something? 50 euros?
I don't know.
That's enough. That's enough.
We need to go for that sushi in Nazaré.
We need to go for the sushi, and I think we'll have enough money left over to be put into a taxi at the end after all those shots with our addresses tied to or written on our foreheads with a Sharpie. Follow up to Trevor. Article 85, for example, you can only be gone 2 months per year on a resident visa. Was that right with the Article 85?
No.
You didn't say that, did you? It was 6 months and 8 interpolated.
6 months and 8 interpolated on the 2 years. 2 years of the resident permit.
Emily, I think Emily's a bit stressed, don't you? She's not relaxed. Emily, come on.
Relax. Emily, where are you living?
Okay, that's a good question. I've heard in Portugal, but we need a bit more specific than that. I've heard that under the withdrawal agreement, UK nationals now have the biometric cards to be awarded for 10 years or an extra. This was something that I saw online over the weekend, Gilda. The Cascais office, like the islands, were giving UK nationals their biometric cards, but not for the right duration of time. They've not broken the law, but they've broken the agreement. Has this come to your attention too?
No.
Okay. It should be for 10 years, not 5, right?
Yes, so they are giving for
5 years. Yeah, when it should be 10. So, Gilda, expect a few Brits coming your way, I think, to deal with as well. Qashqai's, I think, aren't operating within the spirit of the withdrawal agreement, is what I understand. So there's a bit of argy-bargy going on about that. Thanks, Chris. Good morning to you for bringing that to our attention.
Thank you.
Gilda, Darren says, did the Digital Nomad visa come in as of late August? No, end of September, if I understand.
No, it came in the late August, but it will only came in force in the end of April, 1 month after.
Very good. Okay, so these two have got lots of platforms, but because they're men are from Mars and women are from Venus, they use different platforms to each other. Very funny. Okay, good luck at the VHS and the VFS as well. Sushi, yeah, we're rooting for you, Sushi 1404. Good luck with New Delhi. Go to a bank for banking. Go to an insurance firm for insurance. Well said, Stephen Wells. Nunu is insurance. There you go. Is insurance. Paul Harrison. Tech Cowgirl then. Last couple of questions. You know what happens here? They all come in late and we can't get to them all. Gilda, if one's household makes 5 times plus more than the average Portuguese salary of the 19K, do you think savings might still be needed for the Digital Nomad resident visa? We can't answer that yet, can we?
No, we can't. But I would say that there is a big chance that you don't need that amount of savings.
There you go. Truth of it all. No, you were understandably shocked. No, for 250, you can spend that much, but we spend a lot less than that for a family of 5. So you're understandably shocked. Doesn't need to be like that. Just an update then from Nazir for Digital Nomads. I did it from within Portugal under Article 89. Sef Stubo accepted my Recebo Verde invoiced to a UK client. So there you go. If you get on the system here, you can do it that way. Well done. And that's maybe a peculiarity of Stubble, but let's see.
But there is a difference. That is not a digital nomad. That is an independent worker.
Okay, independent worker. So that's not the same.
You were collected at the finances here because you got a Recibo Verde. These people are not going to get a Recibo Verde. Okay, it's going to be a different story.
Yeah, because that's because you are within already, Nazir, isn't it? Rather than applying on the new route in. Philippe, thanking your answer. I'm going to go with Philippe as he's from Belgium. And what's this? Oh, Amelie, I think you're in a bit of a pickle. Please take a chill pill. I don't have a rental contract. Staying with a friend on. It's problem when I go to Steph. What to do? Calma, tranquilo for the time being. Take a few breaths and we'll get this organized, okay? Drop me a line and we'll put you in touch with the right people, okay? Don't suffer with this.
How did you do in the consulate? Didn't you have the term of responsibility?
Right. We'll find out. Oh, look at this.
Maybe it's the same thing.
We can have more sushi now. Chris B, thank you. We got, oh my goodness, Gilda. Roll out the barrel, I think. Extra.
This is getting out of control. This is getting out of control. My God.
And we like it. There's a little enough there for a little bit of a pig's ear for Nelson, not for Nelson Mandela, for Mandela the dog. Sorry, I meant to say Mandela there. Cam Smith saying, "Oh, it's 1 minute past 10. This is probably going to be the last one today." Hi, Gilda. Are there any updates on the job seekers visa that you mentioned before, or is that just rocking on like it was?
So you have you can go and the job seekers visa. It's I can talk a little bit more about that maybe next Monday.
All right, we've got to carry it forward because we've got to go. Carl wants to take. Jill wants to take Carl for sushi because she doesn't trust him to cook sardines. Correct.
That's right.
And Gilda says, T-Deck, please come to a meetup in San Martino de Porto. Well, there's another opportunity to spend all that money as well. Good morning, Gumpers. Fondle that like button, Born Samana. Thank you very much, Cindy B. We're going to have to leave it there this morning. Thank you so much. I know we haven't answered all the questions this morning. Victoria has to go as well. Look, off to Portimao's monthly flea market. That sounds like fun. And look at this. This is a lovely note to end on. Please send this back to your colleagues, Gilda. Okay. He wants you to be president. He wants Nuno to be co-president, I think. Nuno and Gilda are fantastic, competent people who truly treat their clients with dignity and compassion.
Oh,
I think it's time to rave our way out with that. Gilda, last word to you then this morning.
Well, I hope you have a nice week. I think that now the parties will end from my side, and I need to concentrate.
No, we still got one more.
I need to concentrate on the new law, and I have a lot of job to do.
Okay, all right. Well, a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. We've got a lovely fund, the little drinks and sushi fund. Thank you, Chris, and thank you very much to. It was the two Chris's, wasn't it? We've been blessed by two Chris's this morning. Thank you both.
Thank you so much. You are so sweet.
Yeah, in the past, thanks to everyone who's bunged us a drink or some sushi tokens here. So let's rave our way out. Lots of love to the gang at the office. You'll see you next week. Ciao, ciao. Bye, bye.
Bye, bye. Ciao, ciao.
Oh my word. Thanks, Gilda. And happy birthday to your wife. That was from Connie. Oh, so Fiona's birthday today. Sorry if I missed that. Happy birthday, parabéns, I say to Fiona. Love and hugs to all you beautiful gumpers. Thanks for the show, Carl, with James and Gilda. Oh, it's a pleasure. That's so funny, Darren. One day I will cook sardines beautifully for Gilda. You're all too fast for my typing skills. I keep writing stupid mistakes. Please relax. Okay, and Emily, seriously, we can address all your concerns. Please don't get stressed. It's difficult when you first land, so please take that into account. We've an updated post on the Expats Portugal forums concerning the absences allowed. Well done, Trevor. Thank you for that. Everyone coming and giving Amalia a group hug this morning. A brilliant show, says Trevor. Thanks, Carl, Gilda and Banana Slug. Now off to explore more of Lisboa. Well, why not? Fantastic. Fantastic life choice, Trevor and Shannon. Gilda for SEF Director. Yay. Our two Chris's. Yeah, we've been blessed by the Chrisi, which sounds like a 70s concept album, doesn't it? The Blessing of the Chrisi. And that is how competent you are. You can party and do your job at the same time. Yes, that is a Portuguese professional, somebody who can party and do their job well in equal measure. Fantastic. And sardine sushi. Do you know what, Nazare? That's a very likely possibility, T-Duck. Looking forward to that. Thanks, everybody, this morning. So a few dad jokes to end on then. Oh, and a God Squad tip of the day. Let's do those, shall we now? I've got to scroll all the way back. We'll do the God Squad tip of the day then before we go. As we age, we become less supple. Supple's a lovely word, isn't it? Like moist or nipple. Supple. However, most of this is due to lack of use. Yes, don't use it, lose it. So try gentle stretching. Who doesn't like a gentle stretch first thing in the morning? Yoga, Pilates are both great. Try them out. Please do. We tried to get to as much as possible this very morning. We did a pretty good effort, and I thank you all for your wonderful comments and contributions this morning. So we'll bless you with a couple of T-Ducks dad jokes this morning. Scrolling back an hour and a half to find those buried in the mountain of comments that come our way. Thank you so much for making this such fun. It's been a great morning. Where are those dad jokes then? They're here somewhere. Oh, here they are to finish then. Dad joke warning. You have been warned. Sending you on your way. Wishing you a good week with these. An average potato is a commentator. Oh, dear. I can't even count the number of times I failed math at school. That's good. And finally then, before we send you off into this new week, to have great adventures and explore incredible new and wonderful possibilities. I used to have a handle on life, but then it broke. Okay, thanks everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for Consumer Tuesday. Have a good one and bye for now.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.